Good afternoon, traders and potential traders. It's actually not afternoon. It's going on 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are 2.5 hours after the start of the trading day. I've been done for a little while, and I was going to go ahead and start sharing my post-market wrap-up with you guys. So I'm going to go through my entire checklist, and I'm going to do that starting with the stuff I looked at today and took, and then I'm going to go ahead and continue into the tickers that I didn't play with. So, alrighty, without further ado, let's move the screen share over and start sharing some of this with you. All right. So, as you can see on Nvidia, that was the first one on my watch list. Also, the best one I dealt with today. Took my first trade for $2.08 in price action, and my second trade for $1.18 in price action. And if you take a look at what we had marked off, pre-market was right here. And then after this point of the day, I come in and drew another line from here to here, disregarding this peak that's out here. And this is kind of one of those ones you just have to throw away. But you can see how well it's respecting these lines. And then it broke a little below, but it came back up. But what's most important, guys, is, at least to me anyway, is where it meets these Fibonacci resistances. So you see I kind of played around there. Here it tagged it a couple times, set in a little bit of lower high there again. So it really wasn't too bad. Let's take a look at see how that worked out according to the charting we had laid out before. We got our pre-market high, we got our pre-market low. We did have a couple of these extra marks on there. Like I said at the beginning of the day in the pre-market breakdown, I really didn't see these stocks getting outside of that pre-market high to low channel. And you can also see where the price actions kind of gravitated around that voodoo line, which is the price that the stock opens at when the trading day rolls over. So I like that one a lot. Now, let's go ahead into the next two that I took, which was AMD. I don't know why I trade this damn thing so much, but it's like my sweetheart. You can see where I've got some trend lines long term. And no, they didn't touch exactly, but still got a lot of trading left in the day. I had really sketchy data to go off of pre-market for a support line, but I did have a nice little resistance line. It did break above that resistance. Kind of makes you feel like a jackass there when it breaks above, but it just crested above that pre-market high a day. Didn't have the balls to take it any further. You can see where it started to drop off, and then it comes down. It breaks cleanly through this pre-market support line, straight through the resistance line, comes down, teeters around on this Fibonacci. We'll zoom in just a little bit more. So it teeters around on this Fibonacci. I mean, we're talking like within a penny. And then it comes back up, tests this one. And when I seen it setting in this, it hits the Fibonacci, it resisted it, it came down, it tried to come back up, and I got in right here as it was rejecting. And sure enough, it paid off because it did not break above. And I pretty much top ticked this entry here and got it here when it hit this bottom and it started coming back up. Just nothing you can do. So I pulled in 41 cents, not anything impressive on that one, but it was a good solid part of the move. And then I missed her here. And then once she come up and she tagged this Fibonacci, I seen that candle wick and I knew we had this support or resistance line we had drawn here. So I went ahead, took a gamble, took it short. And right here, it looked like this was going green. So I got out expecting that what I was seeing was the formation of a lower high, and this was a change in trend. Of course, I was wrong on it, but I don't mind getting out because I locked in that profit of 20 cents. Again, nothing huge, but little base hits add up at the end of the day. And then you can see that price action wedge down, and that's where we're still at here. Not sure what it's going to do the rest of the day, but also look at how it's respecting these fibs. I mean, it's right on them. So all of this, again, guys, the whole point I break down and show you this stuff is just I do these pre-market breakdowns. All this Fibonacci is laid out prior to the start of the day. So it's kind of like voodoo math. I had some trend lines laid over from long-term for MU. And then I came back in after I did the pre-market breakdown and I added one more line in on this MU because I just wasn't looking at this morning when I made the pre-market watch list. And it worked out really good because look how well that bottom side respected it. So what did MU do? Right out of the gate, it pops up, it hits that pre-market high, it had dropped down, and it kind of petered back up there, and then it just started tanking, right? So I seen this green candle, and I was worried it was going to go long, but when it started coming back in here and pushing down, I took it short on the next candle when I seen it go red. Just a Hail Mary play. It worked out good for me. And I was able to catch the bottom side of this move with 72 cents worth of movement. And basically I was playing it off of this line, this resistance line, and it ended up working out perfectly. So I'm glad that I went back and looked at this thing pre-market before we open, because this data here from yesterday really saved my bacon. And that's one of those things that I do sometimes. I mean, not sometimes, all the damn time if I can remember to. And it's amazing how often that stuff comes out. I missed this play here where it bounced and went long. I was expecting this thing was going to ping pong all day or take another nosedive and break below. So I just wasn't in it to win it there. Let's see, and we're on MU. I did take one losing trade. Here, I was expecting it to break and go underneath, and it didn't break and go underneath. So when it hit I had that second green candle, and I was expecting it was going to hit the Fibonacci and reject. So I'd shorted it. This actually should be red. I don't know why the hell I marked it. Let's fix that right now. Come on. All righty. There we go. That's better looking. So I was red by 24 cents on MU. And then on the next play, I caught 26 cents green. So it wasn't too bad. I just wasn't thinking. I thought it was going to reverse, and it didn't. I seen this huge, move down, and I thought we was already rounding out, but we wasn't. I played the next move down, basically caught my money back, but nothing major. Just blew off this whole back end. All right, we've got 3 more to deal with, and that is going to be Netflix. And Netflix, I drew this trend line in pre-market, and then I had this one from previous days. It's been out there a while, and lo and behold, this one didn't look too pretty. It did bottom tick here nicely, but it worked out way better towards an hour into the trading day than it did right out of the gate. Right out of the gate, this thing just folded and tanked. I didn't get in on any of the action. It just didn't look like anything it wanted to let me be a part of, so I let it go. Some of the guys made some good plays on this, but look at the way it's respecting these Fibonacci's, man. I mean, dead on balls to these Fibonacci's. I just didn't have the read on the day for it. I didn't feel comfortable with it, so I let it go. But some of the guys made some good plays. Next one, Facebook. Let's see what that looks like. And I know this is ugly charting, man, but I had the 2 layover lines from a few days ago. Wanted to see if they did any good, and they didn't do me a damn bit of good. I just really wasn't watching it. Otherwise, I would have probably updated myself a trend line here. And if we go ahead and put that in now, you can see that's fairly relevant. Here, I think we're setting in a lower high. So that's probably going to look like it's slightly downward like this, guys. So once you set that in, this thing's probably done and it's ready to roll over to the backside. Just go back to what I had previously marked. So it did get up here and hit the pre-market high a day. Didn't get anywhere near the pre-market low. And then this is almost to the half, but it ain't even there. It's 2 fibs in. It might get back up there later if it fails us, you know, if this isn't the actual downside. These big stocks, they kind of make their own weather sometimes, but Facebook and these other techs have been going down and down, so they're kind of petering out for well, I wouldn't say predictability, but they're just not taking the big, huge gains. They take some big, huge headers, but the gains are kind of slow and very ratchety. All right, and last up is going to be Square. This was one of the darlings of the day. What did Square look like? You can see how I had a lot of stuff. This was me showing somebody some trend line stuff the other day, but the pre-market trend line here would not have, I don't think I even, yeah. So it would have been like this, coming up to here where it was, but I just don't think that would have been as accurate as I would have liked it to. It would have showed me a channel. Fibonacci is working though. You see how it respected the pre-market high a day, it bounced back, and this was holding really well. So it had really good range, I would say. You know, so far it's like 80 cents. The day is still young. You can make money off of that. It's just, it kind of got boring to me. It never gave me a setup that I was comfortable with, and I didn't have the right pre-market layover lines. So it just wasn't for me. A couple of guys made good trades on it. I mean, it was relatively easy, you know, to where it was respecting these Fibonacci lines really well. It just didn't have the right setup for me. And look at that, it's starting to catch a little bit of steam. So hopefully the guys make some good money on it in the afternoon. All right, guys. Again, Nvidia, Netflix, Facebook, Square, AMD, and MU. The top 4 were the ones I called out pre-market, and the other 2, AMD and MU, I added on the fly because they just looked good. So 15 minutes or less, we got it done. This has been our pre-market recap for Monday, November 26th, and I'm going to get this out to you guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you've got any feedback, leave me some comments below. All right, guys. See you later.